Cops for Cancer, first of all, started in 1993 in Edmonton, and then grew to a national partnership between police service and the Canadian Cancer Society. The following year it started a national partnership. In BC, the tours, there are 4 Cops for Cancer tours. They started in 1997, 98, 10 years ago, on Vancouver Island. That was the first one. And then 3 more have started since then, so we're one of 4 tours, and this is number 7. 2008 is the 7th annual Tour de North.
Morning, everyone. My name is Auxiliary Constable Brody Garrison. This is my first ride.
It was exciting, you know, to come to all the cheering and the clapping and that. We had some speeches and stuff.
This ride, this fight, Cops Against Cancer, Cops Fighting Cancer, he says has never meant more to him.
Clippers are all oiled up.
I'll get the rest of Prince.
And there's always room for more challenges, pledges, and donations. So let's keep this morning alive.
Showing up in Prince George, I was eager, a little bit nervous because I didn't know if I was ready. I didn't know how I compared to all the riders.
I've been looking forward to this for a long time. Like I said, back in 2003 when I was doing fundraising for the Bank of Nova Scotia, I wanted to do it, and I finally got my opportunity to do it. So I've just been on a high and adrenaline ever since.
Well, it's a great opportunity to give cancer awareness, as my mother was a cancer patient for 32 years, and she really did not die of cancer, so cancer can be beaten.
It was time to head out for the ride. We had the sun out, you know, which was really great. You know, everyone's spirits were up, and pushing off, you know, like those first couple pedals out of the parking lot. It was kind of, for me being on my first ride, it was kind of going into the unknown. You know, like I wasn't really sure what I was, you know, going to be coming up against.
The first thing that a lot of people that don't have a lot of experience is traveling in a big pack like that. A lot of people think that it's kind of a folklore, but when you got 20 people, 2 rows of 10 or 12 people, you really need that, and you have to take advantage of that. You talk to people when you're fundraising, and you tell them, I'm going to ride my bike, you know, 870 kilometers. And people are like, what? Why would you want to do that? That's crazy. Well, I'm riding for 2 people this year. Last year I rode for my brother-in-law, Marcus. He, last year when I rode, he was diagnosed with cancer, and he passed away in November last year. And he leaves a 1.5-year-old girl. I was a firefighter in Williams Lake before I joined the RCMP, and my fire chief, Chief Dale Moon out of Williams Lake, he passed away just a short while ago with a short battle with cancer. And he was that whole department, especially him, was a big influence on me and why I'm doing this. So. When I exercise, I like to exercise by myself a lot, so I often hook up my portable music and I go out, and it's just a way for me to kind of relax, get away. I'm married with 3 kids, so I have a busy family and a busy house at home, and when I go out for exercise, it's just kind of to relax, and it's my own personal time. I've been biking for about 10 years. I'm a big guy, running's hard on me, so I kind of got into cycling about 10 years ago, and that's what I like to do when the weather cooperates. For the last 2 years, we have our big jail and bail the day before. So basically the whole week before is organizing for that. It's a really quick day. Like Wednesday we had our big jail and bail and we raised all our money. I think just knowing that I did my part to help out. And I got my health, I got my family, I got everything I have is a gift, and I was so fortunate.
I think a lot of people came out of the gates real hard, and you know, it might have paid for it in the end because you try and push too hard, the next day you got to recover.
Hawk Air offers scheduled services between Vancouver and to and from Terrace Kitimat, Smithers, and Prince Rupert, as well as charter services and cargo. Hawk Air, raising the bar.
We loaded all our gear into one of the support vehicles donated by Dodge and put all our stuff in the trailer there.
Does the straw make that big of a difference?
Started grouping up, get everybody ready, make sure all the bikes are working.
Oh, no! Oh, man, just tie her together.
Next.
Greg is he's our bike tech guru.
Leg up. Leg up.
Because we're on such a long ride, there's so many things, you know, that can start to go wrong. Like stuff gets loosened off. So he was checking all of our cleats that clip into our clipless pedals.
There hasn't been anything he hasn't been able to fix yet, so he's keeping a lot of people on the road.
In my opinion, if we didn't have him, we'd be screwed. He's essential to the tour.
Got Ron at the head and me at the back and some other guys, and we just keep alternating, and it's great. We took off from there, headed up towards Fort St. James.
Day 2 is probably, well, it's the longest day. It's 170.
Good job, guys. We're all staying together.
I'm the rover for the ride group, so I carry a radio and I just kind of go back and forth between the group of riders, you know, just to make sure everyone's doing okay. The purpose for me, I guess, would be for my kids. I have 2, you know, healthy kids, and I hope that they never have to go through the effects of cancer. Back in July, I got a chance to attend Camp Good Times with Dennis Norr with the Canadian Cancer Society.
The point of it is for a child to come there because cancer, it takes such a toll on the child and on any child emotionally, psychologically, besides the physical trauma.
Going down there, for some reason, I just had visions of like really sick kids, you know, down there, not really having, you know, too much fun because they're really sick. And we got there, and it's nothing but kids running around, laughing, and having fun.
The atmosphere was loaded with energy, positive energy, fun, and action and interaction.
So we went there on a Wednesday night, which was their casino night.
There were these games going on, various games, and so they'd move from station to station.
They all get fake money to play with.
It wasn't possible, almost not possible, to pick out a child there who had cancer just by looking at them.
They were just ecstatic to have all of us riders there to be with them on their casino night.
And that's the point of Camp Good Times, is to allow kids with cancer to forget about the cancer.
I had this girl come running up to me, and she gave me this huge hug, and she had tears in her eyes, and she just said, you know, thank you so much for what you've done and what you're doing. And at that moment, it was like, wow, like this is so much more than just a ride or money for the camp. This is the kids' lives that it's affecting. You know, like it was just so moving, you know, to have her do that. And I was just like, wow, you know, and I started to have tears in my eyes, and you know, she was just like, thank you. And it was just so sincere. And yeah, so at that moment I was just like, wow, this is something that I really want to help out with.
The reception going into Fort St. James actually gave me goosebumps. I don't know what it was. It was the sirens going and people coming out on their front porch. And that was like the first time on the trip. It was like, wow, we're doing something pretty important here.
That's terrible.
When I sit too much, I'm back.
Feel for you.
Can you tell us more about it? I had family up there also waiting for me. I got to see them while I was there. That was great. And we did some head shaving, raised some money there.
JP in 5 years.
You know, there's a lot of guys got their head shaved. So.
The only thing that kind of surprises me is how cold it is without the hair and without the mustache. I've had a mustache probably since I was 18 years old. I've only ever had it taken off once in 20 some odd years, so I feel a bit naked without it.
Coming back, you know, still felt good. Probably got to the 100-kilometer mark on day 2, and then it was like, whoa, it's starting to wear on me.
When I was training, I'm going like, how do you train for this? Nobody really has the time to ride day after day over 100 kilometers. So I just tried to work on the hills.
People are always asking, what's next? How many more hills? You know, or how long to go? And we kind of joke with them. We're like, one more hill, just one more hill. And they say, well, you said that a half hour ago.
It's all downhill. It's starting to come in a bit now. Now I am starting to get pretty tired, but earlier today I was doing fine.
The stops along the way, meeting new people, getting to know all the riders that we have, all the members from all over. There's just a couple of us from last year. Most of the people I haven't met, I didn't know before.
It's Vanderhoof up to Fort St. James and then down there.
Yeah.
Seeing the people along the way in the communities, how they come out to help us when we visit their community on the ride.
You went short 1 year.
So you get to meet people within the community that are supporters of the Canadian Cancer Society and Cops for Cancer.
I know you fellas have had a long day, and ladies as well. And but we'd really like to hear a little bit about you, so if you don't mind.
It's kind of cool going into all these towns that I only drove by because this is the only highway out of Prince Rupert. I drove through these towns, but you never really get to know the people. So getting to know a few people here in Fraser Lake is really a neat. Well, it's just a very fulfilling experience.
Northwest Regional Airport, Terrace-Kitimat, the most reliable airport in Northwest BC, servicing the residents of the North for over 50 years, proudly supports the RCMP Tour de North.
Yeah, I think it was too low because my knees were a little sore this morning, so I'm gonna try pumping it up a little bit and see if it helps. Good thing this is a short day. 67 kilometers or 70 kilometers, I'm like, we need a short day after that. Because you can see it in people's eyes, you look around at the group and it's like, whoa, okay. Yesterday was a big day.
276 kilometers. So that meant that yesterday was 170 kilometers.
I have a dry bag on the back of my bike, and it's filled with all these yellow ribbons, so I get to go every mile with me. I wear just one right now. I've been wearing it the whole time, or had it with me the whole time, and it's my cousin Dan. He battled through cancer until he was 6. And then his cancer went into remission or disappeared or whatever it happens by miracle and whatnot. And so he's now 29. Every one of those means something to somebody. All those names, all those people on there. And those names, me carrying them, is probably my motivation. Getting those people from Prince George to Prince Rupert, like I promised I would. I was originally going to be pulling a trailer, and I decided against doing that, and I figured, well, you know what, I made a promise, these people are coming with me, so rigged up a little carrier on the back of my seat and strapped them on there, so I guess those are the names that are keeping me going.
Whenever I've traveled this road, it's just, it's quickly been in and out, right? You never get to any of the little side streets and that. And every night I've been going for a jog after we come in. I know that sounds kind of crazy. You do a big ride and then, someone's going for a run, but that's just something I like to do. So I've had a chance to, go run down some of the side streets, and just take it all in, take each community in. Seeing the kids out playing and they're all waving and high-fiving and stuff like that. So, yeah, each town, I just want to get into each town and, just take a little walk around and just take it all in.
Hawk Air offers scheduled services between Vancouver and to and from Terrace Kitimat, Smithers, and Prince Rupert, as well as charter services and cargo. Hawk Air, raising the bar.
Try to maintain that 10 to 20 kilometers and have a quick break. Trying to keep the pace a little slower because we've got to save our energy for this afternoon.
I hear day 4 is going to be our killer day. We got a couple really steep hills in it, so we're going to have to see how that plays out.
Oh, that's Hungry Hill. It's a summit. It's a really good climb. It's probably 6 or 7 kilometers, I would think, at least.
And there's always that doubt whether you can do it, whether you're going to be able to keep up, whether you're going to be able to be as good as the other riders. When I first signed out, I had a lot of doubters, right? They say, "Oh, you sure you're gonna be able to do that?" And people are like, "Well, that's a long way, it's gonna suck." And parts of it do, but in the end, I think it's gonna be a huge accomplishment. I thought, you know, just get on a bike and just ride. You've been doing that since you're, I don't know, 8, 9 years old, but it's way more than that. During the ride, there's been times, a couple low points where I'm like, I just want to stop pedaling. When you're thinking about it beforehand, you're thinking about, oh yeah, ride this many kilometers today, the next day, but you don't think about the little things that are happening to your body throughout the way. When you're thinking ahead, you're not thinking, oh, my knees are gonna give out. Your body hurts, and you gotta mentally look past it and just keep pushing. But it's nothing, I don't know, it's just more the pain that, for me personally, sometimes every pedal stroke you're hurting, but it's just trying to block that out, think about why you're doing this, and just keep going forward.
Houston, here we come.
I'm riding for my Uncle Roy, and right now he's living with a rare form of cancer that affects the white blood cells. And each day for him is not fun. And it's the kind of cancer where they're not going to get rid of it. He's just going to live with it, and it really makes it hard for him. Coming into the area, you know, pointing things out to the other riders, you know, there's this and there's that. And then to pull into town and to see some people I know is pretty neat. I think some of them were surprised that I actually made it there.
We pulled in.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great.
It's going really well. The weather's great.
They're like, oh, how are you feeling? You know, does your butt hurt? Or how's the weather been? Or, you know, what's it like?
Yeah, that's going to be a big landmark is Hungry Hill, because once we get there, we're almost halfway through the ride, and then downhill to the ocean.
It's just straight uphill. It just keeps going and going and going.
I'm just hoping we get really nice weather.
I don't think there's very many people on the ride that really understand what rainy, cold weather would do to us.
We almost had a crash today, and one of the guys braked and ended up skidding and kind of threw the whole pack off.
We're going to the ocean, and when we roll into Prince Rupert, coming over one of those hills and just seeing the water, we're gonna know we did it, we made it.
Put my hand in the water, put my foot in the water in Prince Rupert, and say I've been there.